Hey YouTube, this is Nick with Texas Steel Buildings, and I'm here to answer the question on how much does it cost to build a metal building in 2022. So when you're building a metal building, you've got a few costs associated with it. So you're going to have the steel structure itself, and then you're going to have the cost to install or erect that building. You're going to likely have some insulation cost, and you're also going to have the cost of your concrete foundation. So a metal building itself is going to cost you about $12 to $16 per square foot. Now that price is going to depend on whether or not you want gutters, how tall your eaves are, the total number of openings you have. Future Nick here. I just realized that I forgot to mention lean-tos. Lean-tos are generally a little more on the expensive side. You're going to pay $10 to $25 per square foot for lean-tos and gable extensions. As far as the install costs go, I would say typically, and this is going to cover most areas in the country, you're looking at about $8 to $12 per square foot. Now that price is going to depend as well on the total number of doors you have, the height of your eave, the height of your roof pitch, whether or not the contractor is going to be installing your garage doors or if they're going to have a third-party company come out. And then your concrete costs. So your concrete costs are going to be dictated by the jurisdiction that you live in. And if you live within city limits too, it'll depend on the type of foundation that your engineer designs. We can have a separate video covering metal building foundations that I can go through some of the basics on the two main types of foundations, the pros and cons of each, why you would choose one versus the other. But I would say generally rule of thumb is you're going to spend about $8 to $12 per square foot on that foundation. Now, if you're in a place with crazy high concrete costs like Austin or California, you can basically double that number. So you could easily spend $15 a square foot. Some places I've even seen $20 a square foot for your concrete. For insulation, we generally, as a rule of thumb, budget about $2 to $6 per square foot, and that's like the square foot of your footprint for insulation. A lot of that price is going to depend on the actual insulation that you go with. So there are 3 or 4 main types of insulation that are pretty common on a metal building. You'll have the compressed vinyl backed fiberglass, which is going to be your most affordable option. There's the double layer system, or what's known as like the band and bag system, to where you've got steel bands running across, and then you've got your fabric layer that lays over top of that, and then your fiberglass goes there in between the girts, which is a little more expensive. Now the nice thing is that you do get significantly more insulation value for that, so it's really good bang for the buck. From there, you've got your spray foam. Spray foam is generally going to be very expensive. You can easily pay 2 to 4 times more than you would for the other two systems. And then you've got insulated metal panels. Generally, from what I've seen, insulated metal panels are going to be about the same price as your spray foam cost. The last few things to think about are your doors and windows. So your garage doors are generally going to be fairly expensive. You could, if you're looking on the low end for a smaller size door, pay as little as $1,000. If you want something insulated and a larger, like a 14 by 14 size, you could easily pay $5,000, $7,500 for a door. Your electrical, again, just a basic rule of thumb, you're going to pay between $4 and $6 a square foot. So we'll take the middle of that number, and you're at $5 a square foot. And then your HVAC, if you plan to have the shop climate controlled. On the low end, you could go with something like a mini split system, and that mini split system may only cost you a few $1,000 to have it properly sized for your space. If you've got a smaller backyard shop, a 30 by 50, 40 by 60. If you want a commercial unit, you could easily spend tens of thousands of dollars. So if you plan on having your space climate controlled with lighting, so you want the full turnkey shop, you're going to spend the $34 that you had, that was our estimate for the concrete and the install and the steel building kit itself. And then you're going to have another $5 a square foot, so that brings us up to $39 a square foot for your lighting. And then each garage door is going to cost you, in this case, we'll call it $2,000 a piece. So you're looking at another $4,000 there if you just want a standard 2 garage door setup. And then your HVAC system, again, we're going to assume that you go with 1 or 2 mini split systems. So you're looking at, I would say, $2,000 to $5,000. My goal is to create some more FAQ style of videos. So if you've got any questions, feel free to drop them below in the comments, and I'll do my best to make a video about them here in the next few weeks or months. Have a fantastic day.